and welcome to the Fortheboys podcast. So this podcast, before we start, I would like to plug in our sponsors. So at Mas Familiar, if you don't know them, listen up, because without their help, they've come through, they've jumped on board, and I think they kind of align themselves with what we're trying to push. So at Mas Familiar, if you guys are after masks, please reach out, support your local. They have customized pieces. So, and if you do want a a model, run it back and you'll see Mr. Mafiuso jamming a mask. So if you're catching public transport, if you're traveling around, and obviously overseas, masks mandatory. So why not reach out to one of the local businesses, support them. Mask Familiar at Mask Familiar Fams. So come through. We'd love to. And also, we put a post up, and there's no 10% off. I just added that in, so it'd be fun. So at Mask Familiar, guys.
Terry will pay the 10%.
I have to route it to my bank account with no money. So again, if you don't know,
that's how you get sacked. That is how you get sacked by the boss.
Also, that is how you get us to look for another podcast or find another team. And with the formalities, guys, this podcast here is obviously Fortheboys podcast. We've been running for 2 seasons. This podcast is about mental health. We're passionate. Everyone goes through it at a stage, and through this platform we create is also a take one. So we jump on here, we share our stories, and in the hope that with our stories it may help you guys or help everyone. Because to be honest, every podcast it's refreshing to hear the brothers talk, and you kind of get that sense that it's helping me. It's helping friends that have reached out. So this platform again is it's not only for us, not only for the brothers here, it's also for you guys to share your story. I know that people out there that are struggling and they don't want to be I guess in a live show. So again, you can reach out to us, message us, let us know, and in the background we can try and help you. So we're not all about showing face, but we're all about what we're trying to do is just help out people. By the way, I'm Tezza.
I'm Swanky second. Whether you're watching us tonight or listening through our audio podcast, thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in.
And Middles.
Those Mafiuso is under the weather, so he's
sorry guys,
muting the mic.
Quick disclaimer. If you've listened to us in the past 2 seasons, you know that none of us are professionals in anything we say. Everything is life lesson learned, and then it's shared. So just like to just repeat that. None of us are professionals. But we share everything we've been through, just to in the hopes that somebody out there catches on and can relate. Yeah. And
that's it. And with us sharing our stories and like discussing topics, it normalizes conversations that we don't normally have as males or Pacific males at that. So we're just here having conversations, sharing our stories, and normalizing topics that we don't normally speak openly about. Just like tonight's topic.
Yeah.
Do we have one?
Again, when we come up with topics,
someone had one.
we come up with topics but it's off the cuff. So we think about stuff, we talk about it because it's happening in our community. So shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat for coming through.
Yeah,
guys.
another thing too, we encourage the chat. Like if you're watching live, we do encourage you to jump on there, ask questions, have a say. It's all about just speaking your mind and being safe and feeling okay to do it. So that's what the space is all about. Jump on, have a chat. Ask Swanky a question. Are you single?
Ask me.
Are you single?
Oh yeah, I'm not a boss. Oh,
as you can,
Oaks.
I'll answer the question. He's single, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll mute my mic. Let's go.
Again, as much as we try to stick to a format, and it's not about that. We go with the flow. We listen to our comments or chat, and if you have questions, we honestly we always encourage that. Come through, comment on the chat, and and when we get a space, we'll share with you. Shout out to Hawkeyes and Lua. Lua always comes with some toxic stuff, so we better maybe mute his one. Guys. How was your guys' day? Obviously, Mr. Mafiuso is under the weather, and it's like we always say. It's and we try and promote having a break from stuff. But our the big man here doesn't like breaks. Never folds. He'll probably go to work.
It's hard, bro. It's hard when all you know is work.
24/7. Yeah.
It's hard when all you know is work, and then it's like it's just your norms just to get up and get work regardless. I mean, to be honest, how many of us actually save our sick days for those days that you're not sick, and then when you're actually sick, you usually go to work? I know I'm like that, but I'm still crook, so I thought I'd better listen to my body this time around. And
yes, sir.
Yes. Swanky gave me some advice. She said, "Stay home. You're sick." So I stay home.
that's my advice for everything.
Yeah.
Listen to your body. Listen to your body.
Yeah. So I hate staying home because it's like, it's just nothing. We're not used to it. We used to just go to work. And,
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
So it's
Even though you're sick, you feel like.
But like I said, like when you know you're sick, just do what your body's saying to do, and just relax.
Yeah, man. You can't be selfish, because I don't want to get sick holding the same TV handle as you.
Oh yeah.
What handle is it?
Hold your own TV handle, sir.
I don't want to grab the TV handle as unwiped. Oh.
And we'll stop there right there. Alexo.
Shout out to Alexo. Boss. Again, we always encourage the chat, but Swanky, how's your day, brother?
Zolgarus, one day off. Tried to make the most of it. So I slept, just chilled.
Sometimes, bro, those especially could be any job, right? When you don't get enough sleep. I spoke to one of the boys, and he said, "I sleep debt." I don't know if you heard of it, but you have like 3-4 hours of sleep, and you try catch up on it. It just never seems to like refresh the body, even though you have a sleep day. You're like, "Oh yeah, I had 3 hours sleep before work, or 4 hours," and you wake up. After work, I'm gonna come home and have a good sleep. But it never comes back. It's like shit.
You never like bounce back. You never make up,
bro.
Bro, I used to do it a lot on the weekends. Just beat myself up, go to the club, and do all that stuff. I'm glad I stopped it now, but it used to be quite heavy on the body, Like
and in your line of work, it's like that's kind of normal though, because you do your 9 to 5, and plus you're a professional DJ, so you go out and between the hours of like 10 to 4 in the morning, Those are like the
Yeah, it sucks because like your body will be used to days, Monday to Friday, and then whether you realize it or not, every weekend you're wrecking yourself because then you're up until like, it used to be like 6 in the morning the clubs used to close. So I used to be out like the whole night, twice a weekend, and then come Monday, expected to be. So Sundays used to be my ultimate days off when no one was allowed to ring me, ask me for help, ask me for anything. They just had to leave me alone and just recover, eh? But
Yo.
man, yeah, it used to be quite hard, like working, especially if it was a manual labor job, because I didn't do well in school or finish, so it's all about wrecking your body at work and then mentally, staying up until late, and then it's just Monday comes around already. Did it for a few years, man. Crazy.
yeah.
But I don't
But
know how
that's a busy work week for you. It's just like never ending, like 7 days, because when you have your weekends, basically you're resting for the night shift.
Yeah.
So even if your days off, like your days off are like, either go and do work stuff. What the hell is this shit in the top there, mate?
Oh,
What's going on with that?
Sorry, bro. Just fell on the screen there.
fell on your lips.
Just fell out of my pocket there. Oh, sorry, man. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but back to your work and the hours of. I know you're saying you haven't. It's not as busy as you were back in the days, but what's the hours you do now for?
Yeah, so do I, John Brown, and I don't DJ anymore on the weekends. I just just work.
Nice, that's good.
If I'm off, private functions. But yeah, it's totally. You get to a certain age where bro's like, hey, hang on a minute, I can't do that anymore. Eh? I'm like, usually I could power through the next day, and now it's power through until you find yourself sleeping on the couch, the TV on, and so it's like,
Bro,
you gotta like face up, hey, because age kicks in, and then your life just changes, and you're like, I better own it, or else fuck, it's just gonna eat me up.
Yo, it's funny because at work, that's the same with us. We don't obviously have a taking job or do DJ, but shit, those 5-10 minutes nap just sitting there on the chair, bro, it helps big time, mate.
Yo,
And then you wake up and you feel, shit, did everyone hear me snoring, or was it or was it a peaceful sleep? Or you're like,
was it as quiet as I thought it was?
Now we have a spot. It's not out in the open. It's at the special room. So we've got a spot at Britomart. Shout out to Lexo for again mocking my cowboy. Don't know about that stuff, eh? Oh yeah.
Man.
So we'll just run through a couple topics, but I think one topic will maybe push us through to our the end. And it's basically about the Olympics, which is happening at the end of this month. I think it's the 28th. And hopefully I can explain this topic as clear as possible, so you guys can maybe comment on the chat and how you feel. So we have a New Zealand Olympic, the first ever transgender lady who is competing in the weightlifting team. I think the 86 kgs. There was an uproar about it, and the reason why I'm talking about it is not only in nationally, which is in New Zealand, it's now been talked about worldwide. But before we move on with this topic, we also like to say we are not trying to deter you away, or if we do have members or people that are in our chat, as well as watching us or maybe listening to us in the future, in no way are we trying to shame transgenders, transgender people, or the community of the LGBTQ. All we're trying to do is make this a safe place for everyone to talk about, and it is. We may not have all the, I guess, answers. We're not professionals, as we mentioned before, but we like to talk about topics that may that's circulating in the community. And to be honest, we have friends that are in that community, and it's hard to even talk about it because I kind of feel I'm not educated enough in that topic. But I guess with me sharing a bit of this and making it come to light, we have people reaching out to us and say, hey, look, you can say this properly, or hey, I can try and help you out. I've reached out to a few of my mates, some really good friends that are really keen to jump on board. So this is probably the first of maybe 10 or a million more that we get to bring people on and share about the LGBTQ, I think it is, community. So the topic is about Laurel Hubbard. Laurel Hubbard, I think the name is. She's a 42-year-old transgender woman who's competing in the 86 kg weightlifting team. It's sorry, that was a bit of a mouthful before I started it, but we wanted to make that clear, so it is, you can share your stuff. We spoke about this a couple of days ago with the boys and in the chat, and we had to reach out to our community, as in colleagues. Swanky, bro, it's quite an interesting topic, right? To kind of dive into, because although it's in our community, and this Laurel Hubbard's from Auckland, it's also a hard one too. What's your thoughts, bro?
Like we've asked people at work to get more comment, more feedback on the topic, and the general consensus was like it's not fair for because and the argument was because biologically Hubbard was a male,
yeah, bro.
So like to compete in the, that's why everyone was like, that was the number one argument, or the number one reason why they said no, it's not fair.
Yeah, and I honestly, like, for me to look at it, it's black and white. But then I think the Olympics made it opened up. I think the athletes transgender athletes can now participate in the Olympics. I think it was from 2015, and we had a chat about it. If it was and there was I guess a situation or scenario someone shared. He's was a male, right? Now a female.
Yeah.
You had a strength, or the what's biology, or the obviously you had the strength of a male, and now you've continued on to becoming and follow the practice of becoming transgender, and then taken and this was one of the points, is taking a spot from an actual female person that could have gone through. Hopefully that made sense. Yeah.
My question is, and I don't know this because I mean it's a question because I don't know the facts. But like really, like just because you're transgender now, do they actually lose their born with strength as a male? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, true. Yeah.
Like so if you could pick up 60 kilos,
yeah,
you know, as a male, and females could only go 40. How did he lose like the strength to pick up that 60 kilos that he was able to do so before? Like, there's no such. I don't know. I'm not gonna say there's no because I don't know the facts, but is there something like a drug? Is there like hormones, suppressants that are out there that drop that part of a male's makeup? You know what I mean? To make it fair, because I mean,
yeah,
what's to say this transgender is not going to go in there and outlift every female simply because she can still lift like a male. Like,
Yeah.
and the males are, just that much more stronger than a female in general. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
that'll be my argument.
I think the Olympic Committee posted in the article that they just had to drop testosterone levels to a certain amount, and I think Hubbard ticked all the boxes that she needs to do.
So yeah, testosterone
to compete.
Yeah, testosterone is a hormone that increases muscle mass, but the athletes or transgender athletes to compete as a woman, if their testosterone levels are below a certain threshold, so obviously they have to be under, the hormone has to be quite similar to a female. But does that even change? Like, obviously it's a muscle mass, but
I believe you can still, you're born and your makeup is male. The only thing that's made you different now from being a male, or is not making you a male anymore, is your mindset and how you feel about it. So if you feel about like you don't want to be a male anymore, or like you've grown up and you're born into the wrong body, as I've heard a lot in the past, they don't feel like that's them. They feel like they're female. They don't lose that strength. I believe they don't lose any of that strength. It's all in your mind. Like if the mind's a real powerful thing. If the mind turns around and says, "Fuck it, we're picking that 100-kilo bar," the muscle will take over because the mind will tell it to.
Yeah. And
if your makeup is a man, like for me, I don't know, testosterone it does play a little bit of a part, but if your body really and your mind really wants to do that, it'll do it. Like, that's just how I think about it.
That's
a tough one.
It's very complex, Sully.
Yeah, I thought it was clear as day.
Yeah, starting off, yeah,
clear as day. But then I actually heard quite a few examples of why they should allow transgenders, and that was a good argument. I can't explain as word for word for that person, but I'll try to get it up in the post. But
I've got a suggestion. There's like the Paralympics, right?
Yeah.
Why don't they have a transgender or like TQ Olympics for the world? Because there's so many in there in this community that they could have. I mean, I'm not trying to say like separate them from us, but if they want to compete evenly and fair, they could compete against each other only. Like, you know what I mean?
100%, I agree with you.
Yeah,
that's what the consensus of.
That's just a thought of keeping things fair and for argument's sake type of thing. Whereas when you get into the politics of it, it's like we're a female. Like, no matter what you say, I'm a female. That's how I feel. That's how I identify myself. Yeah, okay then, but don't get to pick up the 100-kilo bar because it's not fair for the actual female. That's how I feel about it anyway. I mean, I don't have anything against transgenders. I've got cousins who are transgenders.
Yeah.
I have fucking close ass friends that are fucking cool as.
Yeah.
I've got gay friends, transgender friends, fucking you name it. Like I've got, they're all. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with them. We're all cool.
Yeah, and that's us. That's on here. We're cool with that. We're cool. You feel like you're in the wrong body. That's fine, man. You're now changed over to becoming a man, or vice versa, a woman. But I think in the Olympics, it was in the olden days, and now to fast forwarding to now, it's always been about competition of athletes at the top of at the peak, because everybody's competing there. You have like a male section, then you have a female section. Obviously, that's it. Then you have someone, Laurel Hubbard. Sorry, I don't want to say someone who was a male, and now he's coming to change the whole dynamic of competing. Also say this person does, influence other transgender to come, and that's fine. But then, doesn't make it fair for the woman that comes through, right? Because yeah, you could as a male, we don't know you're lifting 300 kgs. You could have lifted your peak, your PB could have been 250, and then you come over to transfer over to transgender, and then testosterone levels are lower, but at some point of time in your life, you've peaked at 250. That's just a scenario. So it's along the same as what Mafiuso was saying. You've lifted that weight. You've done it. Now you've changed over. Sorry, I might be offended. I don't know if it's changed over, if that's the reference, but you've now moved over to becoming
transitioned over.
Yeah, transitioned over, and now you're lifting.
Transmission.
Yeah. Transmission.
Apologies. Apologies to anybody who's listening and is getting offended. This is why
we don't.
This is why we have the conversation. So
this is the top. This is the softest way of us going about speaking on transgenders and the community that is surrounded us with. But this is the softest way that we approached it. Man, there's no guarantee that myself, Terry, Swanky, and everybody in this world needs educating on this topic of LGBTQ, either one. We are all in agreement that we've got nothing against any of the people of that community.
We have, bro. Yeah,
100%.
We're just trying to educate ourselves as much as everybody else on how.
And this may come across wrong, but it's just feel free
to jump in the chat or send us a message and feel free to correct us if we are saying anything wrong or saying things out of line. Because
a good comment is from Madi. Madi has kind of hit it on the head.
So shout Madi for chatting in us. Martin said, I wonder if the Olympic Commission monitors the testosterone level throughout the comp. What if the levels increases above the threshold during the comp? She's got an advantage over the women.
Then the B will be sticking out, is what you're saying.
Oh, he's silly.
Anyway. Had to throw that in there. Yeah, no, it's true. It'll be a major arguing point. Hey, I honestly believe, I used to lift weights a lot. We 6 days a week and shit like that. And muscle memory, bro, is one thing. Muscle memory is one thing that fucking you almost can't get rid of. Like you asked Marty. I've trained with Marty as well. You can pick something up after a couple of months of not picking anything up. Guaranteed. You tell your body to get to that number again, you'll be there again. What's to say this transgender can't hit the numbers as a male, or can't hit these numbers as a female now, as she did when she was a male. Bro, I'm telling you now, like you will go from to and it'll come out the voice, but bro, you'll pick it up, like for real.
Is that how you used to do it in the gym?
So your body used to do that?
Let's go. So I just got a few facts on when Laurel Hubbard competed. I think in her first ever Olympics. Commonwealth Games. I think she came first, which is the Commonwealth Games. She competed in that. She won first place. I think a few years before that, she competed in a weightlifting tournament, and out of 8 places, she came last. So, it's it's controversial in this sense because, starting out,
ladies. Have you seen those big Russian ladies?
I know.
That's
see, so and saying that, like, she did come last and she did compete, and yeah, she probably can come up against some really solid female contestants, but a few years after that, she competed in the Commonwealth and came first. So that it's telling the story, and now she's been given the opportunity to compete in the Olympic Games. Look, I honestly, I wish her all the best, and I hope she does well for New Zealand. But another side of me says, I think there was one girl who was, I think, in that same position as she was, and I think she got the Laurel Hubbard had taken her spot, or obviously was better than her to make the Olympics. So and that's kind of like what I want to say about that is it's kind of hard to say that a transgender woman shouldn't take over a female's spot. But with, like, sorry, just going, might be a bit about politics. I hate talking about it because I don't know shit about it. But in this world, there's so many groups that are rallying together. Like these stay work or work groups that are pushing for equality, and that's fine. Like the Black Lives Matter. And I think this is like the era of today. Like you have the communities coming together and they're just pushing like for equality. And then you start talking about women that they should be obviously on the same wavelength as a male, because obviously if you think about it, males and females in workplaces are sometimes not getting paid same as a male. So I'm all for that. But now you have like this kind of situation, and it's controversial that how does transgender woman take over a woman's spot, another woman's spot, right?
But do you guys think they should, like, instead of calling it men's, women's weightlifting, call it like male or female, like just, or no?
Nah, because
It's still the same.
now you're gonna make the transgender feel out of place, because now you're not saying she's a male or a female. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be male or female, and then she only recognizes herself as a female. So regardless of where you push her, she has to go either male or female, and she doesn't recognize herself as anything but a female. So she basically telling herself she's a female, and that's where she's going, to the female category, regardless of what anybody says. That's why, in my opinion, it's like if the LGBTQ community was to have a massive worldwide Olympics, because there's so many, like a massive worldwide Olympics, that'll be mean, because that'll be even playing ground, everyone's.
But then the argument will probably say, like, why do we have to have a separate one when we feel like we identify as what is normal, like a male or female? We identify as a female, so we.
And that's what I'm saying. Like it's real
complex.
Yeah, it is complex, but they're gonna have to be honest about when it comes to the crunch, because the crunch is males will always be stronger than a female in regards to, like, say, weightlifting, right? Males are always expected to lift heavier because they can, like they're just genetically built stronger. What's to say that a female's gonna come in and lift a man, like? And then let's turn around and say, it's fair or it's not fair. But for me, it comes down to the individual. Will she turn around and say, I don't deserve this medal, like after winning it, because now I feel like it was unfair? Like, I sometimes feel like the strength, like they could still pick up 100%, but then they won't just for the reason, like just to make it look fair or whatever. Like that's how I feel the BA, and it's kind of like
do you
it's a mental
perform at
game
your
for them
peak?
too now, because now they're thinking, oh, I gotta let myself down just to make it look fair, type of thing, you know. And that's a mental game in itself. Like it shouldn't be like that. So, in my opinion,
do you perform at your peak? Yeah.
If they have their own games, you know, and don't make it any less than what the Olympics is. Like make it just the same. Like, you know, it's covered on TV. It's everything about it is nothing different. Like, but just have their only because sports is meant to be fair, in my opinion. Everything every time there's sports, it should be played fair. It should be competed fair too. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So,
and that's
in my opinion, the game is fair. Like,
sport
you're only the best in the world because you fairly won that. Like, you know, well and truly won it fair, and you competed for it and you trained for it. Whereas you could train for it all your life and then, uncle beat me. You know?
No, I get what you're saying when you say like muscle memory, eh? Like as a male lifted 250, like you still got that power. You still have
that's still
that
there.
raw power.
You've been there. You've done it.
If you wish to tap back into 250, you will tap 250s. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Also, sorry. Nice question from roster planning now. Sorry. From Kaylee. Thank you for the shift today. But chat.
Well. Yeah. Sure, Kaylee. I think no matter who anyone identifies with, if you have a genetic advantage, it shouldn't be allowed. I'm all for equality, but it has to work both ways.
Well, yeah, nail on
fair. That's all I'm trying to say.
So from those for Josh, my thoughts: male, female, transgender, separate comps.
Yeah. We think of it as it's that simple, but in the eyes of the transgender, it could be different.
That's the thing I'm trying to.
I want if you know anyone that is competing or in competitions, and man, reach out to us, man. We'd love to hear it. Although we see everything black and white, you may see it in colors. So. Sounds pretty good, eh? Sealing color.
That's a real fine line, eh? Once you start saying things like that, and because your delivery is everything, eh? So just be careful how it comes out, and no matter like how well you mean it, you could sound like the biggest asshole in the world, you know?
Yeah.
That's just the way it is,
cancel you.
But if you have, your real ones, real ones will know you. Your real ones will know you, eh? Gay or not, transgender or not, your family, they know how you are, and they know you're not like that, but they will know you that no, he just doesn't understand, or he's just trying to understand, you know. It's hard. It's hard because man, we should have asked some family to jump on or something tonight, eh? You know?
No, I actually did. I reached out to a few mates who are actually keen to jump on. Obviously, it was in the space of time or span of time, sorry, they couldn't jump on. But in another podcast, they will. We'll basically run it through what we're talking about now.
Man, the podcast. If you only knew how long we've been sitting on a topic much bigger than we've been mulling over it since last season.
Yeah,
and it's just one of those things
that was like our first and second. Yeah.
We've spoken to so many people of that community, and we still sit down and scratch our heads because it's just such a big topic. The way it's going to be dealt with and spoken of, it's just real delicate. So, we just don't want to fuck it up, to be honest, boys.
No, because we have love for everyone.
We got love for everybody.
We promote no hate, no nothing, but that's why when we talking about, we're treading lightly, trying not to offend anyone. So we're like.
But we do promise that we will plan really well for that show, and we will deliver it. So it's something we'll be looking forward to since last season. And man, I think with enough planning, we'll probably pull the boss man in as well. I know he's watching Savozor.
Put us on the big screen.
I reckon we can get it right, and I reckon we can deliver the message and educate.
Oh, man.
That's the biggest word, I think, in this whole thing.
Oh, yes, for
and
sure.
there has been, educating us, educating everyone.
Everybody, because, man, there's just so many people out there who are just one-track minded, not open enough to understand.
And honestly, like to be honest, I was one of them. Like I was that man that, like, when I was younger, I didn't associate with a lot of gay people when I knew, like, as young, I didn't know anything better. Sorry, this is off topic. We're moving from this Laurel Hubbard, but just talking about my experience. So my experience as a young and
where you've learned from then, and
but I tell you one scenario, scenario I had, it kind of changed my mind. It actually worked me up. So my wife said to me, "Oh, we're going to our friend's birthday, and I go, yes, sweet as." And I go, "Who's there? Do I know anyone?" Because that's the first thing you say, because you hang up while she's gone off doing her own thing, sitting in the corner. She goes, "Oh, no, you don't know anyone there." It's like, "Then why you want to take me?" And that's the whole conversation. I goes, "Oh, it's a few of my gay mates," and I'm like, "Oh, fuck off! No, I'm not gonna come. That's it. I'm staying home." She goes, "No, come, honestly. The beginning." I said, "Nah, why do I want to see these people?" And that's actually how I spoke to her. I was like, "I don't want to see these people." This is probably going back 10 years ago or 9 years ago. And she goes, "Look, I'll take you there if you don't feel like you like it there. I'll wish you off." And then, sweet. So we got there. First thing, I was, as soon as I went into the party, the first people I saw, I thought, well, everyone was gay, everyone was trans, and I saw one girl at the time. Sorry, a guy and girl at the time. Sorry, and he had a full change, wearing a dress, and she was and her boobs were out. Then I asked my wife, I was like, "Is that a guy?" She goes, "Yeah, that's a guy, but obviously transgender and changed and got the operation, went through everything." I was like, "But looks like a lady," and that crossed my mind. I was like, "Fuck, they look exactly." And I didn't know anything else. I wasn't the type to go and find out about that sort of stuff. But long story short, everyone there, obviously, were gay, lesbian, transgender, and I actually had like one of the best times of my life there. They're the funniest people you can ever talk to, and they don't give a shit about. They don't give a shit about you. Don't give a shit about no one, and they actually they're actually down to earth. But at the same time, if you cross them, and I didn't want to, because you kind of get that feeling as soon as you talk to someone, they're already stronger than you. Because I was talking to this one trans, and she's like, just all macho and that. I was like, "Oh yeah, I better not muck around with this person." But they're all the same. They'll mock you, and then they're your friends at the same time, and that's how I liked it. They didn't talk about what they were or what what community they were part of, but they're there to have a good time, and that's the mindset that changed me from that point. It changed. I shouldn't think about people as like outsiders. I shouldn't be thinking as people as, "Oh, you're a different breed." It changed as soon as I went to that party, and I'm so grateful my wife took me there, because it was a really good night, catching up with everyone, and to this day, we actually catch up with them, catch up with our mates, not them, and then they're good people, man. I really enjoy it, and we will be running it back with them. They're the same people, same family that are going to be coming on a later show. Oh, Mafi, I'm sure has millions of stories about the community.
Oh, bro, I've spoken. Let's just say I've just fucking cut my head off so many times, but real thankful that the people that I said it to were good friends who set me straight, which I'm grateful for, and then explained to me how it was, because you can't just set somebody straight and not explain to them what they've done wrong, because they will never know. And that's the whole educating part that I'm I'm totally interested in for everybody to get on. Like, it's crazy how there's even there's like the whole community. There's like gay males, then there's like transgender, you know, the people the guys who dress like girls, and then there's like, you know, there's a guy who looks like a guy, but he's only into guys that look like guys or act like men. Type of thing. You know, it's,
certain kind of
you can never pick him out,
preference for
like
them.
type of thing.
Yeah.
And I've got a good mate who's that type, and I've got friends who are fafa, you know. Man, bro, some of the biggest names in Auckland's community I'm friends with. Like, you know, I've been in the scene. Like, I DJ'd for the first Fuff Swag Ball, which is now one of like the biggest events that these guys have in Auckland and in New Zealand altogether. And it's just gone from we held the first one, I think it was at Otara, and now they have it in like the biggest, because these guys go all out and they do it in like big theater places.
Bro, you only know they only do it one way.
So
they go all
they
out.
don't do basicals. There's no such thing as basic.
Nah,
everything is all out. The costumes and how entertaining is it, man? It's wicked, eh? I was so glad that my mate, his name's Putty, opened my eyes to, you know, inviting me along to DJ, and then opening my eyes to, shit, this is how they get down, eh? Like, it's fucking all fun, games, laughter, mocking, and then
And
fierce
you know, we're all
competition
laughing
at the same time. So like, fierce ass competition, eh? They're like out for each other's heads.
Oh,
but
yeah,
then
for
they're
sure.
all
For sure.
sitting hugging at the end of the night, eh? And it's wicked, bro. But what I'm saying is, like, the whole educating side that, I mean, I wasn't like Terry where I was like, oh, I don't want to get there. I was just, if I didn't have to be there, I didn't. If I was there, I didn't mind it, like, you know. But then they opened my eyes to, bro, should we go for a catch up? Yeah, keen for a catch up. Like, I don't care, like,
Bro,
and
straight
I'm
up, and
grateful
that's how
for
we
my
do it
mates
too.
for, I'm grateful for my mates for like opening up that side, the whole learning curve for me, because
Oh, bro, 100%.
they're the most entertaining people, and they're like cool as they got. It's just people have they've kind of gotten them wrong, only because they're, you know, they're not willing to open their minds up and to respect them enough to see how, you know, their lives through their eyes, eh? And that's one of the main things about being.
Yeah, I can testify to that, man, because I was one of those people, man, and like you said, they're very competitive against each other, and that happened to be that night too.
We're
like,
fierce as
any
fuck,
little,
like,
anything that night, like they'll do better. Like you'll find out someone else is like, oh, no, I can do it better, or whatever the way they're doing, like competition the whole night. Yeah, competition the whole night. I'm like, you know, it's kind of awkward, but because it's no more there, then I kind of found out. I was like, oh, okay, sweet as. And also, even in their posts, you know, they're really confident people, you know, and that's good to hear that, because in the community or in our and Māori community, we know the community, the LGBTQ community is strong, because like Mafi said, there's a lot of competition coming out, and I see a lot of them around, and not I see them, I see friends and family around, and they're comfortable in their own skin, which is good to see. Shout out to the boss.
It'll be good to run that show when we do, because we'll be opening our eyes that night. And
I'm not saying anything that day. So.
I'm actually quite scared to do it, you know, because I'm
afraid to put your foot in your mouth all night that night.
For a fact, I know I'll be that person to say something wrong. And,
sorry, guys.
I had a chat with. This was going back when we were planning in the planning stage of getting together and doing a podcast with the community, the LGBTQ community, and I told my mate, I was like, man, how do I ask you guys questions? And he goes, just ask the question. Yeah, but I don't want to stand on anyone's foot. And he goes, well, the first thing you do is, if you don't ask these questions, no one else will, and it's not going to be normalized. So as the person you are, you come as you are and you say what you need to say. Otherwise, us in this community would never know or would never share that sort of stuff. And kind of like things like that. I like, man, that's true. If we think we're trading, we shouldn't. We should. The question is straight up, and it's still nerve wracking thinking about it.
Bro, it's like you just don't know. You just like, oh, is it okay for me to, And I think they, in turn, and to be fair, they also have to understand that we don't know any, because we're not out there reading books on how to be like them or to understand what they understand, because we're just, everyone's just living their own lives. So I think in turn, the lack of understanding we have, they have to understand too that, like, we're not educated in the day, and that's why
because we're not a part of it. We don't actually go out of our way to, like. Sorry, let me rephrase it. We actually.
But see how you said that too. See how you said that?
Yeah.
That just sounded so wrong, way. Like,
yeah,
that's what I mean. Like,
see, I had to restructure.
Yeah, and it's like, in your mind, you were saying, "Oh, I'm not trying to sound like that," but it's just the way it came out. Yeah, and that's my mate also said to me. I always remember him. He says, "Oh, man, you're so lucky. Also, you're so lucky that it's me you're asking these questions to. If it was anyone else, they would have roasted you, or they would have like fucking had you for lunch." Like, I said, "Oh, I'm so thankful," And this guy's one of the biggest figures of their community these days, especially up here in Auckland. Which is it was really good to see him just take his work and just blow up real big, eh? Well done, Putty Tyrell.
Hopefully he can come sit down with us. Yeah, is he in New Zealand or?
Yeah, he's really busy. He's like an artist now. He runs exhibitions and all that. Doing big things.
And his work's amazing too. When you shared it to us, his work is man, talented.
He's one of the bigger names now.
Talented person, very talented. Shout out to the bot who's in the chat. He had a comment there. The top one, I think it was.
He had a novel. Shout out to the boss man. He goes, there was an Olympian, I don't know how to say that name, who was born a female but had high levels of testosterone. She was tested to make sure she wasn't a male, and then they identified her as an intersex woman. Again, don't even know what that means.
Jerry, can you Google intersex?
Intersex. Stand by.
The fellow female athletes complained that she had an unfair advantage. But what do you see how they're? Oh, jeez, it's not even. What do you guys think about the marijuana one? The runner sprinter from America.
That's just a bit of weed. That's just a bit of weed. That's supposed to slow you down, not make you fucking go faster, isn't it?
I think that too, eh? It's for relaxing, not for peaking your performance.
But then again, politics says drugs are drugs.
Yeah. Rules are rules.
A drug. It's a rule against drugs. And it's supposed to, if every other athlete can live by it, then everyone should. Like, fair's fair.
Yeah, there's also like I think people are petitioning to support her and boycott the Olympic. Like a lot of the black community, they've come through and we should be boycotting them. If you're watching Olympics at the end of this month, don't watch it because we don't want them to take our money or take. But then you kind of look at it and it's kind of sad though. Like you have people that are in this because then you have again, sorry, I'm just sticking with the black community because I seen a post and it's about a lady saying, "Oh, okay, so I've worked my butt off going through yet she couldn't stick to the rules. I've gone through and I've abided by them, and I've done everything I could do, and to come to the peak, the best competition, or to find out the Olympian. He's going to be Olympian. So, and that you should think you're kind of one person as an example to try and support, but you're forgetting about the 99% of the other athletes that are performing there. Like, for example, quite a few of the black community, and it's sad because that shouldn't be the case. Although it's sad that she could have made it, She could have made, I think, a one race, but they cut her.
I don't think they should boycott.
Yeah, sad.
Not because of it. Because, like you said, the other athletes made it through. Support their efforts.
Yeah, bro. All right. Before we probably end it, I don't know if you guys got one more or any more about this topic. Just quickly before we go, what do you got? What are your thoughts on the post that that's been circulating for a couple of weeks now? The Palangi lady getting the malu. Just quickly, because I think that'll be our next topic for during the week. What's your thoughts on it, boys?
Oh, can you repeat that too?
There was Swanky can run the top. I think he saw the comment or the post, but I think the Palangi.
Oh, people are just commenting about the Palangi lady getting a malu. So this has been going on for years. It will never stop people from getting it.
Let's run it now. What were they saying? Like, what was the issue?
People having issue that the malu is sacred and she shouldn't get it because it's cultural reasons and whatever. But people out of culture have been getting these malu
for the longest time
years.
Yeah,
this it comes up and then it disappears. It comes up again and then
that's what I've noticed
disappears.
too.
Yeah, but for me,
some people are just jealous, like almost. Or maybe not jealous, but I don't know what the word. I don't know. They just, to me, it's feel poco. You just need to shut your mouth and worry about your own body, or
Yeah,
that's just my opinion. Like, bro, if you wanted to go get a Scottish tattoo, that was, that Celtic tattoo that came out, like Bella, what's his name, Goldberg's tattoo.
Yeah.
If you went and got that, right, and that was like had significant meaning to the Scottish or to the Celtics. And you went and got it, because I know heaps of Islanders when they got it because they thought they were fucking Goldberg. Like, minute, are you stepping on their toes, Like, do you think of that? Like, do you think getting Chinese numbers and letters on your body tattooed, not even knowing that it's probably saying,
you talk about me. Talk about me.
Hi, happy, goodbye, And just because it looks cool, Like, where's the respect there?
I just wanted because it was cool, bro. What you into the scumbag, bro?
I got a koi fish on my back, but what the fuck does that mean, bro? Whereas to them, it's got significant meanings, like.
Yeah.
But I think everybody in their opinion, if you've got nothing nice to say, just give it to your damn self. Like, anybody want to listen to you, like, carry on complaining,
So
they're not breaking anything, They're not breaking any rules, like.
Nah. Like I said to Terry, people just don't go out of the blue and get it like they're off the street. Just go, I want that. Like, there's a whole story behind why they want to get it. Like I said to Terry, maybe that Palangi lady, maybe that's her husband that was in the part of the video that got the bitter. So, like, people have reasons and have a story tied to it. So, like,
because that's the main
you gotta endure the pain. Yeah.
Bro, it's like you go to Samoa, if you loved it so much, your trip so much, you bought a souvenir, right? Instead of buying a souvenir, you're deciding to get something close, as close as you can to the culture itself.
Yeah, culture, yeah.
All right? And now you've gone and got the tattoo. Like, you can't wash this shit off. But it means that much to you, and it's not even your country. So your country, or the country that owns the tattoo, should be so grateful to these people who say, you know, I find your culture so, you know, I love it so much that I want to wear it on my body. Like, why don't I think of it like that? Like, this is almost part of that old school mentality where, you know, I don't like change. You know, I don't like, they tell me about change because I don't want to change. Like, I'm stuck in my old ways. This is how it should be, and leave it at like that. Like, bro, I mean,
and I really believe that if it was a issue or problem, the kufunga would say no.
Yeah,
like I'm sure the kufungas are gatekeepers to it. They wouldn't pass it on to anyone if they didn't believe or feel like their story was adequate to get it. Something like, because it, like I said, like it's hours of endured pain. It's not like you just walk up to the shop and go, "Oh, can I have that?
Can I have 3 days worth of pain, please? Can I give you so many thousands of dollars for it, please?" Never like that, bro. Like, people are they're just taking it out of context and being idiots because they want. Bro. It's probably clout, bro. They want to make a TikTok, bro, and they want like some likes for it, you know.
I'm just over it. It just keeps coming up. So I say, times have changed, so.
Yeah, times have changed, man. It's like, I mean, I'm not saying like it's wrong or right, but everybody's entitled to doing whatever they want. To be honest, like, I've seen a Tongan girl with a moko on her face, bro, because her family should grow up with a Māoris. Like, does that make it wrong? Nah.
But
she can sit around and out court it or anybody and tell, bro.
So people don't see this story.
Yeah, because she knows the reason.
Yeah. People don't see the person's story. You know, they actually just make judgment on the photo and said, "Oh, she shouldn't do this because she's white," but not knowing that, you know, she could have lived her life as lived in the community, or actually still lives there, and going through and respect the culture.
Yeah,
you know. So,
and I know the kufungas. It's a process, and from start to end, they explain while they're doing it what they're doing. What does it mean? Like different motifs or different parts of the tet. So they're teaching again, like they're passing it on. So it's like, if the kufungas really had an issue with it, or really thought it was bad for the culture, they would just say, "Oh no, we can't. Well, I'll just give you a golima instead."
Yeah, there's like other tattoos you can get, but you're first of all, bro, you're brave to go get that. Like, off the bat, bro. You don't even Samoan. Like, you're brave, you know? And who knows?
Hundreds.
They could be like fucking, like, look like Nixon Clark, bro. He doesn't look anything Samoan.
Yo.
But has a Samoan mum and then go get a tat. Like, what are you going to say? Like, you're not Samoan, bro. You don't know.
Yeah.
So if you don't know your facts, I think you
judging
just
a book
shut up,
by cover,
you know?
Just
like trying to get noticed, like, on TikTok.
People on the internet, bro.
Like, straight up. So
is it not even it's not even a topic to discuss, right? Oh,
nah.
Like you said, it's a topic that pops up all the time, and this is probably the third time. The first time hearing it was a Māori chick getting it, and because this is a story. Her ex partner was someone, and she actually learned the culture, and she's fluent in Te Reo. And actually, she her respect for the culture, or everything she did leading up to getting the tat, was in lines with what you guys were saying. You know, the tattooist agreed, but then it keeps coming back up. You know, it's amazing. But I've seen some really good stories.
The Māori girl from Māori TV.
Yeah,
is that her?
I think it is her. I haven't watched.
I've seen her in tunnel, like she wears it out like with pride, like she was like, you know, she shows it off a lot. So yeah,
is it good to show it off?
I've always wanted to show it off. Hey,
is it good to show it off? Like
that's another topic as well, bro. That everyone's been going on. It's come up so many times as well, which is, do you show your marks off, or do you keep it sacred and blah 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 blah? Some people get it for showing off. Some people get it for the love of their culture, and you know, for maybe a position in their culture that they have.
Sometimes it's lineage,
each to their own, I think, bro. And it's the same thing. Like, I don't just need to shut their mouth, son. Shit. Everybody's allowed to do whatever they want, bro. Straight up. the sooner they understand that and realize that that's how life is these days, the sooner they'll be at ease with their own lives, bro, and just will let things just be, you know. Life is so much easier when you just.
I just hope if you do decide to show it, please act accordingly. Then fast time always, Alain. Don't be a.
Don't punch Doina in the mouth.
Don't punch Doina in the mouth.
Doina.
Oh no!
Put up
disgusting. Oh yo, comment from people that complain about other cultures getting out to tell what Malu are misinformed and uneducated. Those are he's got aunties that have the Malu food tongue, but they understand our customs. Oh, sicky.
And if you go to my YouTube channel, I've mastered how to make the saltwater on a certain video game.
Mafiuso is a kufunga digitally on 2K.
If you're, you know, holler.
Yeah, for a fee. So message go through the Mafiuso and hit him up if 2K. The man's got his own tutorial out there too. Check him out.
Yeah, it's a good topic, but it's a long topic, bro, because it just goes in circles, eh? And that's why I say, like, the quick end to that topic, bro, is each to their own. Like, you want to wear it, you wear it how you wear it. Everybody's different. You know, you'll probably find your aunties will cover it up. As soon as there's a big family function where there's a Siva Samoa and it's your family's turn to dance, you'll see the skirts get hyped up. You see the men take the shirts off, pull their ears up, and all the artistic, it's all on display, bro. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a time and place for it, and then there's people who wear it certain ways. So, man, there's young girls out there who get them real young these days as well. And it's just, you know, you're not going to tell people how to wear it or tell someone else how to, you know, how they're supposed to live now just because they've got this tattoo on them. Everyone understands, like what Swanky said, everyone's explained, you know. So, yeah. Just respect it, that's all, you know.
And I'm sure, like, working up to the date of getting it, they're educating themselves as to why they're getting it. Like, it's like we say, it's not a tat they just rocked up and decided to get it off the street. Like, it's always thought and like the stories behind it that ties to the bitter or the malu as to why they get it.
Yeah, man, you have to endure so much pain just to go through that. It's not fun in games, but if you know, we can't go into we can't talk about people and how they want to portray that. But man, the pain they have to go through, bro. It's I've seen it. I've seen a few of the boys go through it, and it's shit. It's quite hard, eh? But again, boys, man, what a mean chat. So again, to the people that are viewing and people that are going to listen to us in the future, this is the time of the show where we, I guess, take something away from this, the topic, just in general, some advice, tips. I'll start, and what I want to say is thank you to the chat. Thank you to the chat for always coming through, messaging, saying hi, and even actually participating in our topics, because times with our topics we don't know if it's good or not, but we do it because we know it's up there, it's in our community, so we got to make it normalize it. One thing I've actually taken away from tonight is I guess the respect. If you're talking about it, like you have to be about what you're trying.
That's why he went first, because he knew his data was going to run out.
In good old fashioned Terry fashion.
And And that's why.
Welcome back.
Probably don't want to hear my don't want to hear my advice. The internet's like, nah, it's just me. But yeah, sorry. One thing I think I've taken away from tonight is the whole respecting. If you have nothing good to say about it, don't open your mouth if you don't have the respect. So yeah, that's mine. On to Swanky.
For me, bro, like, yeah, run it back. Say thank you to those who are listening to our podcast, and if whoever listens to the audio version of this podcast wants to flick us a DM, or like if you have comments, feedback about the first part of the show, don't hesitate. Please just come through and tell us what we said wrong, or if we offended anyone. But for me, is be kind. You know, simple as be kind to everyone, man. You never know what they're going through today. Your act of kindness might just be the up, or might be the switch that changes the whole outlook of the day. You know, just be kind to everyone and everyone out there, even those that stream on Twitch.
Hushas.
Malo Shadzi. But that's it for me, boys. Be kind and to everyone and everyone.
Yo, shout Swanky. Sorry, guys, still a bit crook. Just quickly, I think taking off the back of tonight's show, and I think actually a saying taken from somebody from our previous and earlier shows. We kind of say it a lot, but probably not enough, and that's unlearn the things that we don't need anymore these days. Taking a page out of Terry's book from his story tonight, he quickly found out that what he thought was what he didn't want was actually what he needed, of thing, and it came about because he unlearned to, he actually learned to shut up and just sit back and have a look. Like how many times have we said that as well? Just take a step back, have a breather, and just let it go. So my advice would be to unlearn the old habits, the shitty habits that you have, and move with the days that are present. Especially educating. I mean, academically, yes, should be at the forefront always for us and our kids, but then how to be with people is also something that we lack. We're all right because I see you guys every day, but then how are you with people who you're not familiar with, eh? Yeah. And it just ties everything else in, being nice, being kind, asking, are you okay? You don't realize how much it all ties in. So unlearn the shitty habits, the old habits, and just, man, you watch everything else flow in the right direction. That's what I'll leave you guys with tonight.
And encourage others to do the same. And encourage your brothers to do the same. Or everyone around you to do the same.
Boys.
Shoralen.
Oh, Lenny.
Sharuso.
Alene, sorry. Still pronouncing your name right, but yeah, that's another one. Don't let your alter ego get ahead of you, and at times it shows up in situations where you shouldn't. But before we end, again, I just want to touch on Swanky's one. Our first the topic that we discussed tonight. We are still learning, so please, if you have any questions about it, any comments or anything to kind of educate us in that topic, please. Oh man, we're all for it. Message us on the page, privately or whatever. Anyway, give us a call. By the way, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I'm Tezza.
I'm Swanky the Circuit.
Thank you for joining in tonight. Thank you for joining in.
The joining and can someone pay for my internet, please?
Shout out to the chat.
Peace.
Fast the 4.